Welcome to Review Play. I wonder what we gon' view today. Everybody loves fun and play, and if you don't, you could go away. We treat you like a throwaway. Welcome to Review Play. I wonder what we gon' view today. Everybody loves fun and play, and if you don't, you could go away. We treat you like a throwaway.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Review Play Action Figures. It's your host with the most, Dilo the Don. Today, we'll be doing a competition review on 2010's Marvel Universe 3.5-inch Iron Man from the Iron Man 2 movie in the Mark IV suit versus 2015's Arkham Knight's Batman. I found these figures loose at a value village for dirt cheap. You're talking about like $2-3 for both figures plus more in the bag. So I just picked up these two figures real quick. Alright y'all, before we get started with the S.F.C, the small figure competition, I went on Google to see what these figures came with, and to my shock and surprise, I need to find both of these figures in the box and do a next full competition review with the accessories included. And when that happens, I'll call that part 2 to whatever I name this video. And by the looks of it, I don't know, Iron Man might be having a hard time when that video comes out, but y'all type in the comments below who you think might win in this video. Alright, with that being said, this video is going to be strictly based on just the figures. So we're going to go by a point system. That's going to be points for details, extra points for fine details, and when it comes down to articulation, there'll be 1 point for single jointed, and double jointed fingers will be 2 points. Alright, let's get into it. Starting off the S.F.C small figure competition with Arkham Knight's Batman. So let's check out the detail of Batman. Starting off with his head, you can see it's a very nice sculpt. Very nice sculpt of the head for a small figure like this, right? I don't mind the flesh tone on the skin because, like I said, the figure is very small, a 4-inch figure. And you can see in the eyes, they painted the eyes white, painted his flesh tone. See the neck sculpt, the sculpt in the neck. He has a cloth cape. You see the details in the chest with the bat symbol and the abs, you know, the coloring of the plastic. I like that, you know, it's like grayish with a tint of blue, with a little tint of blue or hint of blue on it. I like the black. Black goes well with the color and the utility belt, you know, it's looking nice. See the utility belt, real nice. Very detailed, well sculpted, right? By his waist, his legs, sculpted nice. The sculpt on his legs, nice. Back muscles, it's well sculpted. I can't complain, and the paint job is real good too. You know, I have to say, this Arkham Knight's 2015 Batman, sculpted good. Good job. I like it. I give this like, let's say with the sculpting and the paint and everything, out of 10, I say I'll give it an 8. 8 out of 10. Would you guys agree? Batman has an 8 out of 10 for details. Alright, moving on to Iron Man. So let's check out Iron Man now. Iron Man, Marvel Universe Iron Man in the Mark IV suit. Very nice. Like, look at that. Look at his eyes. Like, if you guys could see, there's like the blues there, and it looks like there's a little bit of white in the middle. I don't know if that's the shine that's coming off the light in the background, but it looks real nice. In the chest, you can clearly see it's white in the middle with the blue outlining on the perimeter of the triangle, of the upside down triangle. You know, you see all that ab sculpting, face sculpting, neck, shoulder pads, all of his armor is well sculpted, you know, real nice. See that right there. From the back, see how his back is sculpted nice. There's all the little peg hole right there if you want to have him in like a sequence where he's flying off the off the ground. You see, like, they even put the extra care with the paint right here in the middle of the fist, like he's gonna shoot a beam. Fingers are individually sculpted, which is nice. This one's just a fist. I think Batman just had 2 fists, a fist for both of his fingers. But yeah, I think I'm gonna rate Tony Stark's Iron Man Mark IV suit with all the detail and everything, and I think he gets a plus because he didn't have to add no flesh tone because he's fully armored from head to toe. I'll give him a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 for Iron Man. Do you guys agree with me? Yes or no? Put in the comments. Batman got an 8 out of 10 for detail, and Iron Man gets a 9 out of 10 for detail. Okay. Put him right there real quick. Alright, y'all. We're gonna start off the S.F.C. small figure competition articulation battle with Arkham Knight's Batman. Alright, we're gonna start off with head articulation. So we're gonna start off with the head tiltage. And he could barely move his head up or down, so that doesn't count as nothing. But he can do a full 360 by his neck. That's 1 point right there. For his shoulder, you can see that he has shoulder pads, but that doesn't hinder his shoulder from doing a full 360, as you can see. That's the next point right there. He only has a single jointed elbow, so he could only go under 90 degrees of bend by the elbow. But that's also another point right there. And by the wrist, there's no wrist tiltage, but he does have wrist rotation, which gives him the next point. So that's 3 points by the hand or by the arm, and 1 point by the neck. That's 4 points in total. So let's moving on. Let's see if he could do the Y pose. But before I show you that, the other side is also the same as well. Now moving on to the Y pose, or the T pose. Let's see if we could do the T pose and then the Y pose. So yeah, that was pretty easy. That was easily done, the T pose. Let's see if we go a little further for the Y pose. And yeah, not bad, pretty good. I count that as 2 points. 2 points right there. So altogether, that's 6 points in total. 3 points by the arm, 1 point by the neck, and 2 points for that part of articulation. All right? Okay. Now moving forward, there's no upper torso articulation, but there is waist rotation, full 360, no problem. That's an extra point right there. That's 7 points. And moving to the side, we can see if he could bend forward, and he could bend forward around that much. I'm gonna count that as 8 points. So that's 8 points so far. All right. Now moving down, he has no upper thigh rotation, but he does have rotation above the knee. So that's an extra point right there. Single jointed knee. He could only move his knee back that much. There's a single joint. That's an extra point right there. There's no ankle articulation or rotation at all. It's just a solid boot, right? Unfortunately. And let's see if you could do the splits. Yep, extra point for the splits. And just as the other side, it's the same as this side. No different. But I do want to show you, you could kick out that much and go back that much. Not like hard, can't go back at all, to tell you the truth, due to the molding and the sculpting right here. Can't go back at all, but can go forward that much, right? So all together, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 points of articulation, which should give us a total of 12 points altogether for articulation. And if you want to, and we have to include the details, that's going to bring everything to 20 points. That's 20 points for Batman. And I think that he well deserved that 20 points. And I think that I was fair on that one. If you guys agree, put it in the comments below if I was fair on Batman's judgment. Okay, now we're moving on to Iron Man from the second Iron Man movie with the Mark IV suit. We're going to start off with the head articulation. Just like Batman, there's no articulation going up and down, but there is full 360 by the neck. That's 1 point. For the arm, there is full 360 by the shoulder. That's 2 points. There is only a single jointed elbow under 90 degrees, but it's still a point because there's movement. Also the wrist, there's full wrist rotation. That's another point. So that's 4 points so far. And also there is rotation right above the elbow. That's 5 points so far for Iron Man. Now let's see if he could do the T and the Y pose. Oh, just to show you, the other side is obviously the same, right? Right under 90 degrees of bend and full 360 right there. Same thing. Okay, now for the T and the Y pose. It's kind of, this is way more stiffer than Batman, at least on this side right here. Right, so Iron Man could technically do the T pose, almost there. But yeah, that's 1 point right there. That's 6 points. And that's the furthest he goes for that. So right now, Iron Man is standing at 6 points. Let's move a little further, shall we? So he has no race rotation, but he does have upper torso rotation, right? Which enables him to tilt that way and tilt that way. And he could do a full 360 as I just did. And he could also, a little ab crunch, not that much, just a little bit, little ab crunch, but he could go back that much, right? So with all that being said, I'm giving this one function right here at least 3 points. So he went from 6 to 9 points just like that, just because of this special feature right here, which is not really a special feature by today's standard, but for a small figure like this, yeah, that's pretty nice, you know. Batman only has it by the waist, and you can't put him in the dynamic poses that you could put Iron Man in when it comes on to like looking flush with the suit, you know what I mean? Alright, so moving down. Remember, right now Iron Man's at 9 points. Moving down to the legs, we got full 360 rotation above the leg. That's 1 point right there, right? What happened here? Let's see. Okay, there we go. Yeah. It's 1 point right there. We have a double jointed knee. Let's see how far this enables him to go back. Whoa, look at that. Whoa. Iron Man could put his knee way back. That's 2 points right there for Iron Man. So that one's from 10 to 12 points right there, right? Okay. All right. And by his ankle, you have full 360 rotation and hardly any ankle tiltage due to the sculpting right here, but that is full 360 rotation. That's an extra point right there. So I'm going to recap that. We were at 9 points. This will be 10 points. That's 12 points. And right here is 13 points. 13 points in total so far. Right? So by his leg, I'll show you again. Ankle tip, full 360 ankle. Double jointed knee. And full 360 at the top of the leg. Now let's see if he could perform the splits the way Batman did. Nearly there. I'll add that for an extra point. I think I'll add that for an extra point. So I'm going to recap that again. 9, 10, 12, 13, 14 points. 14 points in total, and then when you add the extra 9 points for the articulation, that brings Ironman all the way to 23 points. 23 points for Ironman. So that makes Ironman the winner of the S.F.C. small figure competition battle. Now we're gonna do a quick size comparison. Here's the 4-inch, or you can say 3.75-inch Arkham Knight's Batman with the Marvel Universe Iron Man from the second Iron Man movie in the Mark IV suit, alongside Marvel Legends, War Machine, and McFarlane's DC Multiverse Last Night on Earth Omega Batman. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. If you're watching this video on YouTube, consider hitting the subscribe button. And if you're watching this video on Rumble, give us a follow. You can also follow us on Instagram. We'll be coming to Facebook, TikTok, and X soon. Everyone take care, have a nice day, keep collecting, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.